Hey, what is up everyone, this is Radioactive Raw SNG continuing its playthrough of Sonic Pocket Adventure for the SNK Neo Geo Pocket Color. So in the last episode we went through Sky Chase Zone, we went through Aero Base Zone, and we went through Gigantic Angel Zone. And we got the last two Chaos Emeralds, and basically today we're going to be wrapping up this game. And yeah, so before we begin, I'd like to ask y'all to hit that like button. Let's see if we can get this video to 35 likes. That'd be highly appreciated if we can, and as always, thank y'all so much for all the support. But before we jump into this last episode, I want to show off the extras of this game. So pretty much, there isn't enough, I don't think there's personally enough to actually do a video on this, so I thought it'd be a good idea to actually do this before we jump into this video. So we have the trial room, is where you do your time trials if you want to do that. You have your duel room, which is where one person plays as Sonic, the other person plays as Tails, and you race through the stages in Sonic 2 fashion. Pretty much, I think someone made a hack to where they took Tails from this game, they ripped them from there, and pretty much turned it into where you can play with Tails through the entire game. I think that's pretty cool, and also there was like a Blaze hack I seen a long time ago, but I haven't seen it in a while. I don't know what happened with that, but yeah, there's like all these character hacks if you want to play with certain characters in this game. And finally we have the puzzle room. If you remember, we were talking about these yellow trophy things throughout this LP, and basically getting those will get you these little squares, and pretty much that's what you're doing. Like these little squares, you can try and fill in puzzles and stuff, and I don't care for puzzles because puzzles suck. I think you can take these from one to the other if you want, like that. Put Tails right there, whatever, you know. But yeah, getting these you can just kind of switch them in between, bring it to one, bring it to the other, blah blah blah. But basically doing that, you just have like these little pictures. I think if you get them all, you do get something with the special stages. I don't remember off the top of my head. I think you just get like kind of like in Sonic Advance 3 fashion, where you can play with these special stages anytime you want. And yeah, so other thing we have is the options. You can turn this game to normal or easy. Normal is pretty much easy. Easy is just easier. And the other thing is timeout. If you can't go over 10 minutes, which is almost impossible to do unless you just like let this game sit here. This game's really short. And player just means that how many lives. So you can set it between 1 through 5. You want to be that guy and play with 1 life. Go ahead, by all means, be that. Do whatever you want. I personally play with 3 lives. If you need to play on easy mode, you have 5 lives. But this game, as I said, is pretty easy. Alright, here we are in Last Utopia Zone. So if you remember in Gigantic Angel, Eggman pretty much outran us, and here we are. We do have the first 6 emeralds, and you're wondering, where's the last emerald? There it is. So Eggman has the last Chaos Emerald, and yeah, so we're going to be facing off with Eggman here, and it's a pretty easy boss, this little boss right here. Very Sonic Advance-ish, if you ask me. I could really see this being a Sonic Advance boss. But yeah, really easy boss. You just give him a couple hits. There's actually a second way to fight this boss, but if you're wondering why is this boss so easy, you're gonna see why in a few minutes. But just take note of that Chaos Emerald that he has. And yeah, that pretty much does it for this little boss. Really easy boss right here. And he's gonna try and escape. You're going to pay for this! But we're not gonna let him get away. Get over here. Boom. Pretty much like Sonic 1 fashion, how he just kind of stops. He's like, please don't hit me. But yeah, little thing right there. And we got through Final, the first game in the series to actually call its Final Zone Final. And then the Sonic Advance games and the Sonic Rush games kind of followed suit after. Really cool thing right there to mention. And as you can see, we have this little cutscene. Sonic's like falling back to space. So it's like, I gotcha, Sonic. And there we go. Boom! I love this cutscene. And you have Sonic with his arms crossed. Man, I don't know what was right there, but as you've seen, that's like the Gigantic Angel falling to Earth. Whatever is right there is vaporized. It's gone. I feel bad for just little animals and everything just kind of in that area. Because that was a big blast, man. That's like, I don't know what. But yeah. Get more Chaos Emerald! So yeah, we're going to skip the credits because we do have something else to do. Alright, if you remember, I told y'all to take note of that Chaos Emerald. Basically, this time we're going to be focusing on that Chaos Emerald. If you remember, we do have the first 6 emeralds. We've gotten through special stages. But Eggman has the last one. And if you remember during our fight with Knuckles in Aquatic Relic Zone, that's where this Chaos Emerald's coming from. If you're like watching this episode and you're like, where'd he get an emerald from? But that's where that came from. Basically, this time we're going to focus on this said Chaos Emerald instead of attacking Eggman first. And yeah, basically give the Emerald more hits than Eggman and you're good. It's nothing really that hard. So, and when Eggman does like this little lunge attack, he's trying to grab you and shake you, and then he throws you to the wall. Basically, you lose your rings because you will the rings will fly off screen. So yeah, keep that in mind. As I said, this boss is not hard, and enough hits to Eggman actually breaks the Emerald free. And now we're gonna focus on Eggman this time. Now I don't know if it's okay. So for whatever reason, if you do get the Emerald, no matter how many hits, Eggman automatically loses. I guess he dies or he gets the max hits. I don't know, but there we go. A little thing right there to note: getting the Emerald will automatically make the boss lose. So there we go. We're turned into Super Sonic. Eggman is trying to get away. Curse you, Sonic! All right. Looks like we are in Chaotic Space Zone. We are in the extra area of this game. We are Super Sonic. This boss is very, 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 very remnant of Sonic Advance 2. Or should I say Sonic Advance 2's final boss is very remnant of this, because this game obviously came first by like a bunch of years. But it's almost the same exact thing if you remember in our Sonic Advance 2 LP, how we just, Eggman shoots his rockets, we fling them back at him. Very easy boss. This is a very unique final boss if you ask me, because most of this game is kind of recycling things, but this boss is actually pretty different, and it actually comes back in a later game, so that's pretty cool. Basically, you want to continue trying to keep your ring count above 0, or try and keep it in the 50s range, or you know, all that good stuff. But Eggman will be shooting missiles at us, and you just want to lunge at them, and then they bounce back at him. Pretty easy boss. A pretty much easier version of Sonic Advance 2's final boss, if you ask me. But I'm not really sure what makes Eggman shoot missiles certain ways. He just kind of does them randomly. Like he'll just decide, oh, I'll just shoot 3 down or I'll shoot 3 up. There's no way to know like, oh, I should get prepared, because he's just gonna shoot him wherever he wants. Yeah. So basically, try and stay at like eye level with Eggman at all times. That way you can hit this rocket whenever you can. It's pretty much like Sonic Advance 2's final boss. You just stand at eye level with him in case he shoots a rocket. You can immediately tap the B button and shoot and lunge it back at him. Pretty easy, right? Like that. Pretty easy boss. But what's up with this music? Why are we listening to Sky Sanctuary? This really does not fit the mood, right? I don't think it does. We should have just got some space music. I personally think this game should have had a unique soundtrack. But if we're gonna like copy music from Sonic 3, why not just like use the final boss music for that game? This music really doesn't fit, in my opinion. I'm sure some people might not mind, but I really only think of like a nice blue sky, I don't know, when I see this area, or like when I hear this music. So yeah, that's just like a little rant right there. It's not even a rant, I'm just like, why is that there? Like, why is this music here? As I said, you do want to keep your rings over 50 or whatever. And we gave him enough hits. Eggman's like, please don't hit me, Sonic, please. And then Sonic's like, boy, if you don't get out of here. But there we go. Little Dr. Wily thing right there. And we have gotten through Extra. As I said, just like the final thing, they call this the Extra Zone. Just like in the Advanced games, I find that pretty interesting that Sonic, the Advanced series and all that stuff kind of follows suit of this game. Like, this game pretty much does a lot of new things for the series. But there we go. We will turn back into normal Sonic. We have all the emeralds. And yeah, we have the good ending. Interesting enough, the good ending really doesn't do anything differently. Except you see happy animals. I don't care about that, personally. But yeah. And we have Knuckles with a really derpy face and a Chaos Emerald. What is that? Is that the Master Emerald, or is that like an emerald that Sonic's like, hey, here's your emerald when we fought. Take it back. I don't know. Anyway, we're pretty much done with this LP. It's been really fun. Really short game. I find this game to be really fun. If you had an SNK back then, I'm sure you really enjoyed this game, because it's like the first real Sonic experience on the handheld. Because I personally wouldn't take my Game Gear like outside of my house. It's a really big, it's like a really big handheld, and it dies in like 5 minutes. The batteries suck. So this is like the first real Sonic experience. because even the Game Gear, you had to kind of keep home if you want to play it, or it would die like really fast. But this game is really fun, even though it recycles a lot of things. I think you should really play this game if you haven't. It's a really interesting game. It borrows a lot of things, but it's very unique in its own way. Like, I think anyone who's a fan of Sonic 2 and 3 should really just give this game a chance. And I think you'll really like it. Really great game. One thing to mention is the English on this thing is actually really bad. Like, it says produce, like instead of producer. I don't know. Anyway, like, the English is really bad. I don't know. They must have had really hard time translating this stuff. But that pretty much does it. This music is actually pretty awesome right here. Reminds me of like Sonic Drift 2. There we go. Congratulations! Got Sonic in this nice little pose right here. I think he does a different pose if you get all the emeralds. Interesting. But thanks for your playing. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, thanks for your playing. I think that's like a really rough translation of thanks for playing. But I hope y'all enjoyed this LP. It's been really fun, guys. Thank y'all so much for all the support. Next LP or next Sonic adventure we'll be doing is Sonic Before, the sequel. The game that's between Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. So we'll be looking at that game next. I hope y'all have enjoyed this LP. It's been really fun, guys. Thank y'all so much. If you didn't enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button. And until then, peace out. You have a good night.